Now, when it comes to the business end, the rig we use is really quite simple. All we've got is probably, say, 1.5 meters, 2 meters of 250-pound moi moi. Now, that's crimped at the top end, and as you saw in strike zone bill fishing, the original, how to do the Flemish die. That makes that stronger. That attaches to the snap swivel, which we then run wind on leaders straight onto the rods. Now, the trick is though, at the other end, what we do is we tie the hook on. Now, the reason we tie the hook on is, as you saw, we grab the leader, and once we hold on to it, the fish will snap off, because this becomes a weak spot once you put a lot of pressure on. So all you have to do, just going through the knot anyway, is basically make a loop in the tag, main line loop beside each other, and then wrap the tag around the main line and through the loop 3 times. And that, apart from whacking the camera, lube it up a little bit. Now that is a uni knot. And then you just slide her down so she goes down nice and tight, and you'll see once I pull it in, it'll pull in really nice and neat. Now, that is all we use. We don't bother crimping this end, because what we want to do is we want that to snap there. So when we've got those fish on the leader holding tight, we can get it to break there. So all that fish swims away with is a hook in its mouth, right in the corner being a circle, and it leaves the fish with the least amount of damage. They don't smash themselves up on the boat. They don't go away with a heap of line hanging out of their mouth, which is just, it's all bad for the fish, and we've got to look after these fish. And a rig like that, above all else, it's simple. You don't have to do much. You can tie up 20 or 30 of those ready to go, and they'll last you, well, hopefully only a day or two, but they should last you for a while. So it's little tricks like this that are really important to do, and will help look after the fish, and most importantly, catch you a few more fish. Now, because we're using circle hooks, you can't just pin the bait on. It's not like when we did strike zone yellowtail kingfish. We've got the little J hooks and just pin them through the nose. With a circle hook, it's a lot better to use a bridle. Now, there's a lot of different things you can use as a bridle these days. You can use rubber bands, you can even use cable ties, but do you know what the best is? Just a little bit of Dacron. Tie a loop in it, like so, and that's all you need. Now, the trick is to putting it on. It's quite simple. Wrap it over like that, and then just feed it back through itself. Like that. And pull tight. And there is your bridle ready to go. Put that in with a needle in it, and then feed a livey on, and then put it out. It's that easy. And it's simple things like this. Don't complicate stuff, just make it nice and easy. That's all you do. And one trick I'll add is always make up a heap of spare bridles and have all your gear ready with bridles on it. So all your spare rigs are already done and ready to go. So if you're in the heat of the action, there's fish going off, you've snapped a couple off, instead of making new bridles or tying your hooks on, everything's ready to go. So you just slip a new livey on and you're straight into another fish. All right, now with your slimies, there's a little gap just in front of his eye here. You can just see there. So all we have to do is feed the needle through like there. Just do it nice and gently. Be careful not to pin them in the eye or pin them, and just pull it through like so. Now, all we do is then put the bridle back over the hook like that, but it won't stay there. With a livey, you'll kick and splutter. So what we do is you twist it up. So you go 1, 2, 3, twist, then feed the hook back through the gap. Then do it 1, 2, 3, one more time, and there you have it. Now, the key is you want that hook to be loose. You don't want it to be tight against the head like that, because the way the circle hooks is that as it comes up out, it just catches naturally on the corner. So if that's nice and loose, it's going to work. And that way, you're going to ensure the best chance of hooking that fish in the corner of the mouth. And as we've seen from all those reports and all those surveys, hooking it in the corner of the mouth is the key to give you the maximum survival. Well, for the marlin, not for the slimy anyway. Now you'll notice thread lines are starting to appear a lot more in strike zone. You know, they're getting a lot stronger, they're getting a lot better, and we're starting to be able to catch really good fish on them. And it's probably worth highlighting now the fact that, like for example, this outfit, the one that Ron caught his fish on, You don't have to spend a fortune. Because one thing we want to do at Strike Zone is not always just appeal to the elitist angler who can spend $1 million, is to try and test some of the more budget tackle you can use. And as you've seen with stuff like this little Akuma V system rod, matched up with a Selena 80 reel, it's not an expensive outfit. I think it's $400 to $500 for the whole rig. And the great thing is you can use it for jigging for kings, you can use it for catching marlin, and we've even been using it for cubing for tuna as well. And we've caught a lot of fish on this rig, and it just goes to show you don't have to spend a fortune. You know, you spool it up with, I think we've got 50-pound braid or 60-pound braid on there, that tough line. You can use it as a multi-purpose rig. And as you saw, most importantly, even first timers like Ron can catch a fish on it. So don't just think game gear, think outside the circle, or outside the square I should say, and look sometimes at your jigging gear and other things you can use, because you can have a lot more fun, especially on small marlin.